In this video, I want to give you a brief overview of the Happy HCU2 1501. This is the 15 needle commercial embroidery machine. This machine is going to be notches above any machine that's in the Happy line, in that the embroidery feels bigger, it's a lot faster, huge servo motor, a lot of great features. So let's show you a little bit about this machine, and maybe this will help you find the right machine to meet your needs. The 1501 is going to give us 15 needles, and this machine is going to be extremely easy to operate. Don't let all these needles, overrun you. It's really easy. Everything from our big thread stand, I can use the bigger cones of thread. I have a 5,000 yard cone here, all the way to mini cones. You can find the favorite thread colors and brand of thread that you like. Everything is going to be extremely easy to thread on this machine. I have channel threading all the way down to my needles. I'm going to know exactly where I need to put my thread in the digital tensions to get it where I need it. And it's going to be channeled for me all the way to my needle. Now, this machine does take a standard DBX K5 needle, which is a very common commercial needle. We carry all the needles and all the sizes. It does take the L-style bobbins. We have a lot of different pre-wound options for you that you can buy in gross bundles to get a really good price. I like how the 1501 has the laser pointer. This will really help me for centering designs, design placement on garments, as well as caps. Now, yes, this will come with the professional cap system. You're going to get everything you need to do production work. You're going to get more than one hoop. You're going to get more than one cap frame so that you can be hooping another garment while this one is embroidering. This machine will operate at a maximum 1,500 stitches a minute. It will swiftly glide through your garments. When you get ready to do caps, you'll be amazed how fast you're going to be able to do. So time is money. If you're using this for a business, you know that already. This machine is going to allow you to do a lot more work in less time, making you more profit. You'll pay for the machine very quickly because of the speed and what's involved with it. This machine has very little maintenance, and when you do have to maintain it, it's very easy to get to where you want to go. Any machine that you buy from Ken's Sewing Center, you get our premium support package. We're going to give you free, toll-free support for the life you own the machine. If you need to come to our store for lessons, we can help you with that. You will get tutorials with the machine that you can see videos on the machine and how it's operated, getting all the major components. But we're glad to walk you through anything you have need of over the phone, anytime, or in store. If we need to FaceTime with you, we're glad to do that as well. We want to be able to let you know we're here to help you with anything that you have need of. This machine has a massive 23 by 16 embroidery field. Underneath the machine, I have a really small and long cylinder arm. I can hoop sweatshirts, t-shirts, polos. I can get backpacks and purses, all kind of different bags, even golf bags, things of that nature. Because the arm is so small, we can get in those pockets, those smaller tight areas, because everything is open. The machine does come with the stand that you see here in this video, so you're going to get the total package with this machine. It has the large servo motor. It's going to last you for years to come. Also, the machine is extremely easy to operate, as well as all the Happy machines are. We get to the interface of the machine, it's going to be really easy for us to get to all the different components of the machine. Now, this is our main screen for going in and editing on this machine. You're going to have a lot of different features and functions built in. I can read from a USB port. I have a USB port here, and on the side of the machine, I've got the full color screen. It's going to be extremely easy for me to see what I'm doing. And I like the way Happy, their thought process in making machines and laying out the computer board really has a commercial mindset, but they're scaling it down to make it extremely easy for you to get to. These machines are 100% made in Japan, top quality machines. If I want to pull up my designs, I have a lot of designs I've already staged in the machine. We'll embroider one out for you here in just a minute. But if I'm doing production work, I can go in and I can stage design. So if I'm doing, say, this Alabama, I can pull it up. I've got 10 hats I need to do, and then maybe I want to have 10 or 12 of the little turkey feet here. I can stage that design next. I can be hooping my garments while the machine is embroidering, saving you a lot of time and making you a lot more money because of the way this machine is. I can assign needles. I have 15 needles. You have it threaded up with popular colors that you normally use. And there's going to be a time you're going to have maybe a strange color somebody wants something embroidered with. Because it's really easy to operate and thread, you're not going to have a long time threading the machine. But if you have popular colors on the machine, I can assign needles to a specific cone. So you're going to know there's a diagram on the thread stand letting you know which needle corresponds to which spool holder. So at that point, you know what you got. I can change all my colors, get it set up, and then I can assign for this particular needle the thread I want to use. So you're not having to rethread all the time just for a specific needle. That is extremely nice, extremely convenient to have on a machine. I can back up here. I can go into my frame. This machine has a whopping 23-inch by 16-inch embroidery field. Multiple hoops come with it. We have a lot of information on the website talking about all the accessories and a lot more diagrams and pictures of what this machine does, what it has with it. But you will be able to easily go in, and if there's a hoop that you're needing, or maybe one you've purchased, because there's a lot of optional companies out there that's here in the United States that makes embroidery hoops that are fantastic manufacturers. I know all the owners of those, like Durkee, Hoop Tech, Hoop Master. All those companies make different clamping systems, specialized hoops for doing pockets, maybe magnetic hoops are what you're needing, clamping systems may be what you're needing. We'll be able to direct you and help you. But you can go into any non-registered hoop, meaning any hoop that's not made by Happy. We can plug in the parameters of that particular hoop, and now the machine is going to be able to recognize that, so you don't have to worry about the machine hitting the hoop or you doing any damage to it. There's no company that has anything like that on the market. I can go into my settings and I can see the design, height and width. If I need to do any changes here, I can do that to the design. There's an option here, if you think you're having a problem, let's say with maybe your tensions, because this machine has digital tensions, we do recommend giving us a call first before you go in, changing anything in this section. Sometimes it could just be you need change your needle orientation, a new needle, maybe rethread the machine, but you could be having a problem. We can walk you through and talk you through all those things over the phone. You have lettering built in, upper and lower case. There is optional digitizing software available and different lettering programs available depending on your needs. We can help you select the right program that's going to meet your needs, because this machine does recognize the most popular format, which is the DST format. I can go in here and do a lot of things to the machine, changing the speed. I can see what version the machine is. Because of the USB that's built in, if I need to upgrade the machine, it's really easy to do. If as time goes on, you may do some maintenance or calibrate the screen, things of that nature, that is where you do it. Now, I do have the ability on the machine to have different tutorials that are built into the hard drive of the machine for popular things that from time to time you may not use that often, but maybe you just need a little pointer, a little help every once in a while. That's going to be at your beck and call, as well as you will have a digital instruction manual, and there are going to be video tutorials available for you. Plus, you can always call us. So there's plenty of help to help you with these machines. One thing I really do like about the Happy brand, and this is something a lot of companies just do not do, they're thinking about the customer. They're thinking about speed and time it takes to push different buttons to get to where you want to go. Here I have 2 pages of all the icons, all the functions of this machine at my beck and call. So for different functions I use more often than not, me personally, I like to use the trace. I will use the forward and reverse, meaning if the power goes out, I can fast forward through my stitch count, through a color change, by different increments of stitches or by a color change. I would use that a lot. I like using the centering a lot on this particular machine because I want to know where the center of my hoop is. I don't have to worry about knowing that. I can hit that button and it's going to automatically center it. I can change the speed. I can do arcing of my letters, so on and so forth. I can get my home screen, which is where I'm going to be at 98% of the time. I can get that set up. If I want to change this, it's really easy to delete icons and add them as the years goes on and you're using your machine. You can even go in and select users. If you're using this for a full business, you have multiple employees, you can register different employees to your machine. So if you have one employee maybe that's having more thread breakages or hooping errors or things of that nature, you can determine what that is and use that as a teachable moment to help them all along the way and using the machine and correct those errors, because again, time is money with that. In my layout feature, I can go in and change things on the lettering if I need to arc something underneath, over top, stretch the spacing out. Monogramming is going to be a huge part of any embroidery business or anything that you do, for that matter. So I have all these computer controls. I don't have to go to a computer. It's all built into the machine, really nice and easy for me. Once I pull up a letter on the screen or a name, I'm able to do that. And I can always go back to my home screen. This is where I'm going to be at 98% of the time. If you'll notice, I have my trace, my center, and the adjustment of the lettering. I have my forward and reverse here. All these are things I use a lot myself. Now I've got this picture of the great state of Alabama pulled up here, and to show you just a brief overview of getting the design set up. It shows me in millimeters how tall and how wide this is. Now this machine does read in metrics. It does read the DST embroidery format. So if you're not used to metrics, just Google a little chart. You can pull that up and you'll know in inches what that is really quick. But on my screen, I don't have to push 15 buttons to get to where I'm wanting to go. Everything's laid out really nice and neat for me. Here's where I can go in and push this button, and it's going to pull up. If I need to fast forward, let's say that maybe I don't want to embroider this X here on the, as far as the state flag goes. I can fast forward through that color change, or let's say my power goes off. I was halfway through a design. As long as I don't move my fabric out of my hoop, I can pull this design right back up. I can fast forward through a color change by 100 stitches, by 10, or by a single stitch. So if I get really close, and I'll know exactly where I'm at within the design, even if you embroider a few hundred stitches over something, you will not be able to take it and notice it on your garment. Here's where I assign the needles, as we showed you earlier, to the particular needle and color of the thread. So I don't have to worry about changing threads all the time. That's a lot of time involved with that. Here's the speed of the machine. Now right now it's at 0 because we're not embroidering, but I can go all the way up to 1,500 stitches per minute on this machine. That's going to swiftly move at an extremely fast pace. No machine out there is going to be able to handle embroidering this quick and not compromising your stitch quality. Here's my design. Here's my perimeter. There's going in red, and this gray is my hoop. So I have a perimeter, a buffer zone that's about a ½ an inch from the edge of the hoop on every hoop that you tell this machine that you're embroidering with. So I never have to worry about my machine hitting my hoop. So if I go in here and pull this design up, I can use the arrows if I want to go to a certain quadrant. If I want to move my design around, I can touch it and move it. I can center it, I can trace right here. All these are built in right at my beck and call. Here's my design. It's showing my hoop, my buffer zone, and the design. So if I'm moving a design over, I can use all my arrows here and toggle over, or I can hit the center. It's going to automatically center this right for me. Really nice and neat. Not many brands give you that function either. I can hit the trace feature. Trace is going to allow me to go around the external perimeter of this design, so I don't have to worry about it. Of course, I've got a huge design. I've got a huge hoop for a very, very small design. For this application, we'd recommend using an extremely smaller hoop because it's a very small design, but just for demo purposes, we want to show you what that would do. All these controls are just right here in front of me, nice and neat and organized, and I can always go back home to my main screen. This is where I'll be at 98% of the time. Now I'm ready to embroider. Ken Sewing Center is your authorized Happy dealer. We carry all Happy models, parts, and accessories. You're going to get our premium support package with the purchase of any machine. We're going to be here to help you. Check out our website. We have a lot more information to show you there. Drop us an email, give us a call anytime. We'll be glad to help you.